Hello and welcome to the EFT with Lucy channel. My name is Lucy. We're going to do EFT today on staying present. I just went to the gym and I am pretty inspired by this episode that I listened to from the On Purpose podcast. I'll link it below. I think it was on procrastination, and it was talking about, the guest was talking about, staying present. That's how he tries to intentionally now spend a lot of time with himself in silence, because that's where he learns more about himself. And that's also where he feels like his intuition, and if you believe in a higher power, just like his connection to the universe and God, or I can't remember the terminology he was using, but that's where he feels like a lot of like the intuitive hits come from for him. So I was thinking about that and how it does feel really good to just take a break and get to know yourself more when we are present. But I do find that it's so easy to be like locked into our phones. Just throughout the day, our society really is so like catered towards us, like towards reaching for our attention. And so it is really powerful to really hone our skill of attention and presence and just intentionality in our life. And I think when we are present, we are more powerful. I think the power is in the present moment. And sometimes it feels better to like tune out for whatever reason. And sometimes that's great. But sometimes we really do want to feel present, even though sometimes there's a part of us that is resisting it. So I have my cat on my lap right now. So if I look down, that's who I'm looking at. His tail right here. So I want to do tapping on staying present, and we're going to honor the part of us that doesn't want to be present, because sometimes it's easier and sometimes we don't want to like deal with all the things. We'll get into it, but let's get into the tapping, starting on the side of the hand. I don't have water with me right now. I'm looking at it across the room, but we're going to get into it right now. So if you can drink some water after this. When we tap, we actually are tapping on a little tiny vascular system in our body, which is super cool. We are moving stuff around. So we want to make sure that we're staying hydrated, A, because it's really great for us, and B, so that we can flush anything out that we need to let go of. So let's get into the tapping. There is part of me that does not want to be present. I'm finding myself tuning out, scrolling, putting on all the background noise, shows, ads, books, you name it, whatever it is, to not be alone with my thoughts. I'm doing it. But as good as that might feel in the moment, it's starting to not feel so good anymore. Even though there's part of me that really does not want to be present, I'm acknowledging that there is a part of me that wants to be present. I realize it doesn't feel good physically to be zoned out and think, oh my gosh, wait, did I do this thing? How did I get here? Did I lock my door? All the things that we think about because we're just on autopilot. It just doesn't feel as good as when I'm feeling present and invigorated and really showing up with my full self to my life. And I can recognize that there's a large part of me that has resistance to showing up. And it's like I have this like kind of like wool or like dense weighted eye mask over my face. And I'm just kind of like zoned out. But even though I feel that way, I'm choosing to love and honor myself. Even though I feel so zoned out, I'm choosing to wholly and completely love and accept this part of me. Because it is a part of me. And I don't want to make myself wrong anymore. That is old hat. And I really want to be present to the things that are comfortable and uncomfortable alike. Or simply the neutral. But I want to acknowledge and own that I'm ready to be present even if it feels unsafe or uncomfortable. I can understand why I don't want to be fully present, but I can also understand why I want to be present. So whether I need the strength and courage to own something that I don't really like going on in my life right now, a truth, a situation, a thought, a conversation that I don't want to acknowledge, or simply staying present so I can actually show up for the responsibilities in my life, or whatever else it is that I'm hiding from. I'm choosing to accept that it exists and that I want to bring my best and full self to this part of my life. I'm owning that I have the capability, I have the courage, I have the strength, and I'm choosing to be my best self right now, because we have a choice every second of the day, even if my current pattern does not make it feel like it. All right, take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Let's get into the full round. I want to be present, but I don't want to be present. I want to be present, but I don't want to be present. There's such a big part of me resisting this presence. I have like so many dreams and goals and aspirations for what I want to do with my life right now. Or even just goals for the day. But part of me is fully and wholeheartedly resisting. And it makes me feel bad about myself. Because I'm on my winter arc. I am constantly up-leveling. I'm going places. I want to do things with my life. Because life is long, but life is also short. So why am I tuning out for so much of the day? Maybe I'll never know. But I can acknowledge that there is a pattern that I am not liking right now. And I can see this pattern pretty clearly. Whether it's opening Instagram when I don't even know how I got there, or constantly having something on in the background, or feeling like I don't want to be by myself, or whatever ways that I am tuning out. There's obviously part of me that doesn't want to acknowledge something going on in my life. Whether it's pleasant, neutral, or unpleasant. And it just doesn't feel like me. Because I want to be someone who does what they say they want to do. A person that follows through on everything. A person that reaches their goals. A person that is doing whatever they want with their life. But I just don't feel like that person right now. And that makes me want to zone out, just in and of itself. If I'm present, then I have to face my responsibilities. If I'm present in my life, then maybe I have to do hard things. Maybe it means that I'll have to face my internal dialogue. And that doesn't sound good. Or it means I have to be present to what's going on in our current events. And that is not pretty. Maybe I'm telling myself a story about my life right now. Like, I'm ugly, my body's not worthy, I'm lazy, I'm bad at my job, so-and-so is mad at me, I'll never get out of debt, I'll never have the job that I want to have, I'm gonna feel down on my life forever, or things are never gonna change. Or whatever else it is that is going on in my life right now. I wonder how much of it, A, is true. Like, how much of my internal dialogue can I revise? Or simply audit? Is it true that I'm doing a terrible job at my work? Or that my body is ugly and needs to change? Can I know with 100% certainty that that's true? Maybe I'm open to changing my internal dialogue. Because I do really want to be present. I know that being present at my job, in my life, makes me feel better about those areas of my life. So even though I'm telling myself the story that I'm not good enough, I'm choosing to be open to revising that story. Maybe I can even be open to having compassion for myself and forgiving myself for telling that story in the first place. And maybe there are things that I want to get done in my life that I keep avoiding. Like that impossible task that's been on my list for days, weeks, months, maybe. And I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to do that yet. But if I scroll on Instagram, then I can conveniently forget that it exists. And that'll be tomorrow me's problem. The truth is, it's pretty stressful to have all these unfinished, incomplete tasks or conversations going on in my life. It's kind of leading to overwhelm and maybe anxious thoughts and feelings. So as much as I want to tune out and avoid all of these things in my life, I'm ready to be more present because I'm ready to feel better. And what's funny is that it often feels better than I think to be present. Like that impossible task actually wasn't as hard as I made it out to be. Whether it's going to the DMV or simply making my bed, I'm allowing myself to be surprised with how easy it can be. It's so funny how often I build things up in my head. And I dread this thing and I dread this thing. And then it was like so much less annoying or effortful than I made it out to be in the first place. Like I dreaded it 4 times more than I really needed to. And it took half the time I even imagined. So I'm open to just recognizing this pattern that I have, that I can just bless and send on its merry way. Because it's been protecting me or serving me on some level. But I'm ready to let that coping mechanism go now. I'm ready to be more present in my life, because it feels better to handle even the things that are unpleasant or even painful with my full self than tune everything out and to feel like I'm walking around like a zombie. I'm letting this old pattern go. I'm allowing this change to happen faster and easier than I could even imagine. Like the next time I reach for my phone, I take a breath and say, actually, I'm gonna put this down. The next time I'm doing the dishes, maybe I test out 30 seconds of silence. Or I simply just shake up my current routine, however that looks for me. Maybe there's a task that I want to bring a different energy to. Like maybe I'm picturing the bed already made. And I picture myself saying, oh my God, great job. Congratulating myself and celebrating myself, even if it feels silly too. Because I deserve to feel good throughout the day. I deserve to romanticize my life, to find magic in the mundane, and feel better than I thought I could feel throughout my day. I'm allowing myself this chance to really be present to my emotions and my feelings, and to learn about myself. To learn about what I'm feeling throughout the day and what I'm thinking, what my goals are, what my desires are, because I am being present with myself and others. It feels so good to be present during my day. In fact, I'm so excited to be really present for my next conversation or task or whatever the stretch of time that I'm envisioning. Maybe it's the freaking rest of my life. I'm allowing myself to completely up-level right here and right now in this moment. Like when I stand up from this, I'm gonna be standing in entirely new shoes, because I'm a person that is present in their life. I'm a person that gets shit done. I'm a person that does what they say they're gonna do. And I'm feeling really good about myself and my life. So even though I've been walking around like a zombie feeling tuned out, I'm wholly and completely loving myself, forgiving myself, and committing to being present for the rest of the day. All right, take a deep breath in, hold it at the top, and let it go. I'm so proud of you. Way to go on that. I feel like sometimes it doesn't feel good to acknowledge that we've been feeling bad, or to cut ourselves off and be like, you know what, this actually doesn't feel good. I really want to be present and change things up. So I'm really proud of you. Let me know how that went for you. Let me know if there's anything else that you would love to see. Thank you so much for your comments. I read everyone's comments, so I just want to say thank you for everyone who has commented. And truly, let me know if there's anything else that you want to see that you might be struggling with in your life. I truly, I love to respond to people. If you know anything about human design and you and you vibe with that. I'm a manifesting generator, which means that I like to respond to people. So it truly, like, your engagement really helps me create better content, and I really appreciate you for that. And I am celebrating you, and I hope that you feel so good for the rest of the day and the rest of this week, even feeling more and more present. I can't even tell you the amount of client sessions that I've had in the past where we realize, oh my gosh, even though this thing is uncomfortable, it feels so much better to just acknowledge it, to tackle things face on, to just bring our full self to life, even if we think that we could have done better or whatever, because it feels so much better to know that you're trying your best. So I'm really proud of you. I'm sending all of the love, and I will see you in the next video.